there and welcome to another edition of OOtAs Unveiled. This time we're going to have a look at Extreme 1 Episode 5. I hope you enjoy. This episode marks the debut of Draven, which would next appear in RoboWars Series 8 as its main competition debut. In the original BBC Choice airing of this episode, Draven was referred to in its Wildcard Warriors battle by its original name, Anthrax. However, this was changed for future broadcasts following a series of Anthrax attacks occurring in the United States, in between the battle's initial airings on BBC Choice and BBC Two. Along with the robots renaming, the battle itself was further edited to reflect this change. Key alterations included re-recorded arena introductions and commentary from Stuart Donald and Jonathan Pierce, respectively, along with the removal of much of Craig Charles's announcements and a portion of Julia Reed's pre-battle interview with the team. Though Antarctic Engineering received a VHS tape of the BBC Choice version from John Reed, no recordings of Episode 5 or the individual wildcard file as originally broadcast are publicly available at present. Pussycat was originally intended to fight Draven, but after it could not compete due to weapon restrictions, King Bee Powerworks was chosen to fight in its place. All battles in this episode use a variation of the newly introduced robot entrance theme, with additional elements from Mars, The Bringer of War by Gustav Holst. This marks the only time this variant was heard in the UK series, with the theme being more prominently used in Season 1 of the US series Robot Wars Extreme Warriors. Stephen Frank's announcement Cease was used in this episode. This is the first of two Armed Forces special battles which were present in Extreme 1. Thermidor 2 became the first robot in RoboWars to throw two robots out of the arena in one battle. In this case it's Behemoth and Stinger. During the vengeance between Dieter and Firestorm, Firestorm can be seen sporting a blank, brighter yellow flipper. Presumably this was filmed after Series 5, where Firestorm not only sustained tremendous damage throughout the series, but also had its flipper broken by Matilda and Razor. The Draven team were happy to face King Bee, as King Bee was one of the inspirations to Draven. Prior to Extreme 1, Draven under the Anthrax team attempted to enter Series 4, where it faced Oblivion 2, where Anthrax failed to move and caught fire. In the Series 5 qualifiers, Anthrax faced Prizefighter, where its link fell out. And finally, in Series 6, Draven fought Smidsy, where it lost once more. Come and Getrex also attempted to qualify for Series 5, and lost after being knocked out by an unknown spinner. The version of Megahertz that appears here is in fact the second version, as the original was more longer, looking like a mirrored copy on its back end. This is the only time Spawn Again did not use its black and yellow or gold web design. Spawn Again is the title of a song by Australian band Silverchair that featured on the 1997 film Spawn. And that is it for today. Extreme 1 Episode 5 is perhaps more famous not for the main event, which was another army clash, or forces clash I guess you could say. It's weird that they had two of these in Extreme 1. I mentioned before that the timing of it was a bit, ironic considering, it was 2001, 9/11 just happened, and of course war in Afghanistan, war in Terror and all that jazz. It's almost coincidental in a way. But this episode is perhaps more infamous for the mayhem. The Thermidor versus Stinger versus Behemoth mayhem. That is the highlight of this entire episode, for good reason. It is a fantastic mayhem. You see Thermidor at probably its best. The way it just throws Behemoth out the arena. I love the roly-poly it does as well. I love that. And then Stinger gets chucked out later on. Truly a beautiful moment. Overall, this episode is a decent episode of Extreme 1. You got a variety of robots, a variety of battles, all of which really, all of which are like some highlights, I guess you could say, for Extreme 1 in general. Because, the problem with some episodes are there's not a lot going on. With this one, it has a decent amount going on, but it's not like episode 13 levels of really good, just mayhem from beginning to end, or even episode 1 for that matter, which was also a really good episode in the sense that you have, just action, great set of robots throughout. This one's still decent though. This one is still decent, and I don't mind it. I think, let's be honest now, the best part about this episode isn't the Forces mayhem. It's definitely the double out of the arena by Thermidor and the mayhem. That is just fantastic. Like, that bit right there is the key moment of this entire episode. So let's have a look at what we're going to get next time around. So on to Series 8 Heat C next time. A very interesting heat to choose from. There's a few choice words I would like to make in the review section of this particular episode. I don't hate this episode. I actually don't hate Series 8 in general. I think Series 8, honestly, of the reboot series, actually aged the best. So I am looking forward to this one. Still, there are a few choice words I will make during the review section of this particular episode. So I'll see you then.